his inhumane condition. You just took it off the line on my list.
Alright guys, welcome to this video. It has been a very long, short couple of days. At least that's what it feels to me. I came out here to button up this engine for its first startup. I'm sure you guys saw it at the beginning of this video. We did finally get this car to fire over with some hiccups. Now, if you guys saw a couple of videos before this one, we just installed the max peating rod tucked harness, and there was one fix in the harness that you had to do, that I had to do, to make sure that the car fires over. And now that we finally got it fired over, we had a couple of misfires. I try to be very transparent with anything that I do here on the channel, and the harness was a little skeptical. 60 bucks. I know it raises a lot of eyebrows, but I went through the harness again to make sure that all of the coil wires were in the correct spot. They are. I made sure all of the injector wirings were in the correct spot, and they were. So I was like, why do I have this misfire? I'm not sure. So I'm diagging the next couple of days, and we checked the coil packs. They are all firing, sparking like they're supposed to. We swapped out the spark plug, which were pretty cruddy, the original ones that came in this engine, over to some Iridium's 2669s temporarily, because I am going to switch over to NGK 2668 because the 9s are used, the 8s are new, and it'll work just as well. But we did new spark plugs and it was still misfiring. And then we went to go check the injectors to find out that cylinder number 1 didn't change the way the car was idling. Number 4, 3, and 2, you can hear the idle change, but 1 didn't do anything. So I had some spare injectors that came out of my blue all-wheel drive car before I went ID 2000s, and I stuck the 1 in it, and the car turned on and stayed on, but it still had a low RPM miss when I'm revving it through. So I was like, you know what? I may as well change all the injectors. So after now changing all the injectors out for known working ones, all the misfires are finally gone. The car revs through. It sounds like what a K is supposed to sound like, and I think we solved that issue. Now, I have been doing a lot of little things in between, buttoning up the engine bay, and I think we're ready for the next phase. Now let me explain really quickly, guys. This is the back half talking of this video. I wanted to do all the suspension stuff, right? Button up the cooling system, drop the car and drive it with the all motor setup. But because we're on a time crunch for Race Wars, I'm literally like 2.5 weeks out, and there's still a lot to do with the car. Instead of waiting for Funnage to buy the suspension and try to put all that into the car to get the car driving so we can test it, I think we're just gonna roll with the suspension as it goes. But in the meantime, I think we're gonna start getting into the turbo stuff. We're gonna put the manifold on with the wastegate with the turbo. I gotta fabricate the downpipe, the dump tube. Once I get the back half hot parts done, we'll move into the front, the charge pipe, the intercooler, the blow-off valve, and tidy up the turbo kit. And then, you know, if the suspension stuff is ready to go in, we can do all that, and then we can test drive with the turbo kit. The biggest thing was, before the turbo kit, is to make sure the car turns on and sounds healthy, which it does now. After figuring out the whole misfire situation, I'm actually pretty honestly satisfied with the max peating rod harness. And like I mentioned in the previous videos, I will buy it again. And right now, I spoke to Max Peating Rod today. They are working on it. They are working on repairing the harness to make sure you guys don't have to touch it when you buy it. And since the tuck harness video dropped, a couple of you guys placed an order, and I appreciate you guys, man. It helps me out more than you guys know. You use the discount code because I can see it. I just hope that when you guys get the harness, do the continuity test to make sure the power wire for the coil pack is in the correct spot. Because like I said, I don't know if they fixed it already before it headed out to you guys, but I would just check it anyways, just to ensure you guys don't have any startup issues. But very stoked that the max peating rod harness was not my misfiring problems. I honestly didn't want to carry this video on too long, so I hope it's not as long. I really just wanted to make this a first startup video slash button up on the K20A2 before the next phase, and I think we're ready for it. I think we're ready to push forward with this car. So we are going to wrap it up here in the garage, guys. I hope you enjoyed the first startup of the K20A2 in the 88 sedan in today's video. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. I will also leave the link to Max P and Rod's K-Series tucked harness in the description below in case this video convinced you that you may want to buy one. Be sure to use the discount code at checkout, YStatic. And if you guys want to stick around for more progress update on the 88 sedan, possibly the turbo kit fabrication, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.